on the heels of some exciting breakthrough technology to actually recognize old handwriting and microfilmed images. The church has long been involved in acquisition of records, and the best way for them to store those was on microfilm. Digital microfilm has a lot to offer. If we can digitize it, enhance it, store it, it can be multiple places at the same time, it can be preserved, and it can be made electronically accessible to patrons all over the world. In the work of indexing, there's an indexer A and an indexer B, and they work independently on the same records. If they agree, that's like in the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses shall every piece of handwriting be established. If they don't agree, there's a third individual, an arbiter, who looks at the work and then decides which it really is. And wouldn't it be exciting if the computer could take the place of indexer B and analyze the handwriting and say, I think this means, this says Jens Johnson. And indexer A said, well, that's what I thought it was. Well, that means that we just doubled the throughput if the computer can take the place of one of those indexers. Ultimately, we want the computer to do things that the computer does best so that individual researchers and patrons can focus on what they do best, and that is creating personal links to individual family members. What if we could take one piece of handwriting and morph it into another piece of handwriting and measure how hard it is? If we could treat that ink like rubber and stretch it and see how hard did we have to stretch that to match this other word, it might give us a quantitative idea of whether or not it really is that piece of handwriting. And the one that needed to stretch the least wins. It turns out that that has been a pivotal piece of technology in helping us get the much improved results. That could also be used to search records, to look at snippets and pieces. Can you find anyone else whose handwriting or whose name looks like this? We could search the records. So in many ways, once we crack this nut and get some, and we are getting some wonderfully good results, we think they can even improve. But once we do that, the world is wide open to the use of that technology. The exciting bottom line is that this is solving not a problem just bound to this earth, but this is solving a problem that will reach beyond this earth. And that's pretty exciting. There's very few areas that we can work in that allow us to do that. The main difference between our handwriting technology and others is ours is better. But there's a reason for that. The entire membership of the church is behind this technology, because it is their hearts and their minds and their giving, their generosity of their time that has allowed this to happen and will allow it to happen. And I believe that's the way the Lord would want it.